like you're in the same room as me. Yeah, so what? It's your boy, Bitz and Bobz. Yes, people, episode 36. It is a Wednesday evening. We don't care that Chelsea and Real Madrid are playing because we're not in it. So, tonight, I have a very special guest. She is a female YouTuber. She is a big Manchester United YouTuber, a big Man United fan. She is repping the flag for the Irish. She's also someone, believe it or not, that I actually appreciate their content. I think she's created a path for many female YouTubers to have their say to be taken seriously and not to be judged. And also, I'm an admirer of her because she's actually got through a tough period right now, and fortunately, she's able to tell the story, And I'm very happy that she's able to do that. So, long and behold, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, your nan, your gran, even your stepdad, I give you Mary from She Devils United. Mary, how are you doing? You okay?
Good. Thanks so much for having me on. I'm honoured.
Oh, listen, I thank you very much for coming on. Literally. As we were saying before, in fact, I'll say it now. Who do you want to see win the Champions League, Chelsea or Man City?
Chelsea. But as I said, it's like being asked, how would you rather die? Do you want to be stabbed or do you want to be shot?
Exactly. Really big up to you, guy from Scotland, King of Edinburgh, Queen of Cork. Brilliant, I love that actually. Please smash a like, guys. If you're watching on Twitter, please come over to YouTube. So Mary, do you know what, Queen of Cork? So you are from Cork. So
yep.
Couple of football players, Roy Keane, Dennis Irwin. What's Cork like?
Beautiful. I give out about it a lot, but it is absolutely beautiful. There's gorgeous scenery, lovely people. The people are so friendly. Don't judge it all on me. Trust me, there's a lot more friendly people than me. But the scenery, especially down in West Cork, Kinsale, a lot of the Giants Causeways down here in the Wild Atlantic Way as well. Absolutely beautiful. The real capital of Ireland, I'm going to say. Because it's like Dublin is brilliant, it's buzzing and it's booming and, all these social events are there, but it's very cultural. There's, loads of different ethnic groups that live there. It's lovely city, but it's very big, it's massive. Mm-hmm. Whereas Cork is a little bit more homely, a little bit more friendlier. And I they say Irish by birth, but Cork by the grace of God.
Oh, are you serious? Okay,
yeah.
Okay. I'm going to keep that because do you know when I was playing football when I was younger in Scotland, and I'd come across an Irish person on a football team, I'd say to him, like, mate, listen, they don't like either of us, so we need to stick together. and we build this bond. And I said to him, like, we used to like crack jokes and stuff, but the Irish culture, okay, I'm only, we have the stereotype, they can drink, they have fun, but what more? Can you elaborate? Like, what's the traditional Cork dish? What do you guys drink there? Because I'm really, really intrigued because I've been to Dublin, I've been to Belfast, I went to Dublin for my wife's birthday, and then I went to Belfast for a stag, May bank holiday. 4 nights of just great fun. So talk me through it. So I'm in Cork. I've come to see you. Where do you take me?
First of all, I'm not a big. I don't go to like nightclub. But those days are gone for me.
That now, Mary. Come on.
Well past. But I would take you definitely to Kinsale. I would take you on the scenic routes, West Cork, beautiful routes. I would take you to some of the local bars, the small little pubs. Okay. I would bring you on a little trad session. I would take you maybe into the city. I'm not a big city person, a lot of young kids and a lot of shit goes on in there, especially at night. But I would bring you to the Shinny, and the Shinny does traditional Irish music, great buzz in there. Again, a lot of culture in there because they bring all the people visiting Cork come to the Shinee because you get a good trad session. You get a lot of Cork people in there, and you get multicultural in there too because everyone brings everyone in there. So, but it is brilliant in there. Yeah, typical Cork dish.
Yes.
God, some people would say crew beans. I've never.
What's that?
Pig's feet. I've never, trust me, ever eaten them. Another one is tripe and drisheen, which I think is the lining of the pig's stomach or the cow's stomach. Again, I've never tried. I don't eat this stuff, never. But I remember growing up, it used to be in a pot, like the pig's feet would be in a pot. My mum would be cooking it in the kitchen. Needless to say, I would never, ever eat that. But a stew, I think everyone, although I don't eat stew, I don't like stew, an Irish stew, I think, is probably still kind of traditional here too.
Okay. So, right, so I'm very, you know what, it's very bad because I only know Cork, Dublin, Belfast, which is poor, very poor, and I admit to that. And I have new Irish friends, Amy, yourself, and Keane. Owen's Cockney, but I'm still going to class him as Irish.
He classes himself as Irish too.
I just think to myself, like, you know, when you watch so many of the historic films and stuff, you know, with the blacks and the Irish, and they go to America or they go wherever to try and settle down, you know, there was a period where they didn't get on. Then there was also a period when they did get on. So my next question, in Cork, do the people of Cork and the people of Dublin get on?
No. There's massive rivalry. Massive.
Okay.
It's like this. A lot of it goes back to sport. So the traditional sport here is Gaelic. So either hurling, which is played with a stick with a hurley, and a little sliotar. It's called a little really hard ball. Like it would. I mean, anyone that has never YouTubed a hurling game, HURLING.
Okay.
Do it because the people that play it are mental. Absolutely have a screw. If you think rugby was bad, you absolutely know. Now it's kind of a little bit. They've brought in a lot of rules recently, but there used to be literal fights in this. It kind of like as tough as Aussie rules, but with a stick. And Gaelic football is. I'm not really a big fan. They can hold. They run with the ball. Like it's not really football, but very very tough as well. And these players are unbelievable. I'm telling you, so talented, and they play for free. They don't get paid, so they have their day jobs and they go. And it's, I mean, the Gaelic Athletic Association is like the FA, the GA, and they make millions a year, and they don't pay any of their players because if they go to Croke Park, there's 80,000 people in the stadium. Game could go to a replay, they get another 80,000 people. Like, people are fanatical in this country for the sport. I'm more like soccer, football. I'm not really, like hurling is good, but you know, not really my thing. But I mean, there's die-hard people, and the rivalry is there between between Cork and Dublin, and Cork and Kerry as well a little bit. But definite massive rivalry between Cork, because we're the second biggest city to Dublin, so there's that as well.
So my next thing about rivalry, right, and we're gonna just dive into it, okay? When I went to Dublin, I remember the first time I went to Dublin, I was 8, 9 years old.
Wow.
And I'm talking, Mary, 1998, 1999, and it was an experience, 100% experience, and I'm great at playing. It's called the Milk Cup. I don't know if you've ever heard of it. Fun fact: Barcelona were in that tournament, and Sergio Busquets played that day. I always hate saying it because I think to myself, he's a millionaire footballer, and also I'm just a happy family man. I would say I am.
But you could be happier than he is. You know, it's not all about the Benjamins.
True. However, I wouldn't mind the Benjamins. But yeah, so like, I went to Dublin, and like that was an experience for me in the sense that, you know, obviously like there's flags, and obviously like, you know, I feel I want to ask because I want to learn as well, like, you know, the sectarianism, you know, and it's like it was crazy to me because obviously I was growing up in London, Catholic boy, church, choir boy, Sunday school, Catholic primary school. You can imagine. I walked with Jesus. Never mind prayed to him. You know, that's how much I was invested. And I remember going to Dublin, and then I remember like my dad being asked, "What side are you?" and like, and then I remember my dad saying like, I don't know, what side should I be on? And then there was just like chat and stuff, blah blah blah. And then my dad said to me, he was like, "Do you know what's funny?" I remember this conversation. He said, "They were more bothered of what religion I was than my skin color." And I'll never forget that moment. I'm thinking, wow, is it really like that? So I have to ask you, what's your experience? You know, what is your religion? What do you believe in? And yeah, talk to me.
Catholic, but I'm not really practicing at all, like at all. No, but I went to Catholic school. I made my Holy Communion, my confirmation. I was made, you know, we were made to go to mass, like it was a thing. But unless it's like a funeral or a wedding, that's not my thing. But respect anyone, you know, all religions and whoever they are. But I think when I was growing up, like if someone was a Protestant, oh my God, people would be saying, "Oh my God, they're Protestant.
Yeah.
That's the Protestant church." Over, you know, it was like a thing. And as well back then, you know, a lot of the troubles were in Northern Ireland, so it was a massive thing. But I mean, no, like nobody cares. Like honest to God, nobody cares. No, it's never mentioned. But definitely, like, you know, even family members would say the neighbours, and Jesus, they're Protestants. You know, it was like a thing growing up. But I mean, even if it was a thing, they're Protestants and what? Like they're not murderers, you know.
Yes.
But because it was majority Catholic, these people, like, you know, it was you know. But I never saw any sectarianism other than if someone got on the bus in a Rangers jersey or in a an England jersey, they might have got a bit of abuse, but not now. Definitely back in the day. But other than that, I did not saying that there probably definitely was, but I never witnessed any of that.
And so see you growing up, then also it was good, obviously Catholic girl, Holy Communion, just like myself. Did you wear a white dress?
Yeah.
I wore a white suit. Confirmation, yup, I'm the same. And obviously, you grow up, and then it's hard as you get older. It's hard to practice, isn't it? Because things get in the way, lifestyle, leisure, work, and so on. So, have you stayed in Cork all your life?
Yeah, I'm a total home bird. I've had friends that have gone to Australia and Canada, and no, I'm a total home bird. People would say that's boring, but I love going on holidays. I love going on trips, but I couldn't even see myself living in another county other than Cork.
Okay, I'm with it. Listen, I'm with that. You know, listen, I think, you know, I'm in Scotland now, and Scotland's my home. Yeah, I do like to travel. You know, it's interesting though. I always used to think that I would never leave London. Obviously, I left because of football, but I never ever thought, yeah, I'm always going to live in London. But now, you know, depending on job, obviously, like if I get a job abroad or something, then I don't see myself living in Scotland. I'm like you. I've turned into a bit of a home person because, don't get me wrong, you know, I'd love to travel. Literally, I was fortunate to be an MC where you get to travel Ibiza, Ainapa, just different countries, you know, and it's like, yeah. And then I think as you get older, you just think you'd rather go to, nicer places and indulge in their culture, learn stuff, and then come back home. And I think you do appreciate, I think you do appreciate home when you're away so much because you don't realize how good you have it back home compared to some people. Moving on, shout out to everyone in the cut. There's a lot of people saying big up to you, big up to Mary. Yes, I know I finally got her. I'm so happy. So Mary, so like, Cork, we know where we are. You have a passion for a certain male that used to be the captain of Manchester United. Gary Neville, I'm joking, Roy Keane. So, do you know what, right? When I get people on, it's about them. So I'm just going to ask you the sentence that Fergie said in his book. Was it something like he was invincible the night in Turin, right? Now, how would you describe Roy Keane to you?
Oh.
Oh, literally, it's like that. Oof.
I can't even put it into words.
Oh, wow.
For the first time ever, I think I'm speechless. But he's not even my all-time favourite player. He's my second, because Eric Cantona is my all-time favourite player. But Roy, I just think, as well, him being from Cork and how good he was, made it extra special for Man United fans, not just in Ireland, but in Cork, that you had one of your own, one of the best midfielders in the Premier League, a captain that wore his heart on his sleeve, obviously made mistakes. I mean, was not perfect, a bit of a madman, but I mean, we defended him like he was a family member when he was because he was that important to us, and because he made us proud to be where we're from, and he never forgot his roots. He still to this day, he visits schools, he goes to hospitals, he donates. People don't even know that about Roy Keane. He does a lot of charity work, a lot of quiet charity work. He a couple of my cousins played for this local Sunday League team, and three of Roy Keane's brothers played for them, and he would donate like kits, balls, everything. And his former club, Cove Ramblers, is actually not that far from me. He's invested so much money in that club to keep them going. He does so much for the locality. A lot of it not even talked about. And I just think that pride that he gave people from Cork, because we're a very proud county, and the fact that you had one of the biggest footballers, bad or good, whatever he was doing, I would say the one thing I would say about him is how proud I am of him.
And do you know what, Mary, you surprised me, because I think that delivery was exceptional. I wasn't expecting that answer. And, to say you're proud of him is one of the few things that we don't hear people say, oh, I'm proud of that player. And you know how passionate you just said, oh, he's one of us, he came for our... And I do think we miss that from fans, to say like, oh, he's one of our own. When they say, oh, he's from Manchester, he's one of our own, blah, blah, blah. But like, Roy Keane was really one of your own. Do you know what I mean? And like, maybe he was lucky that social media wasn't too tough in his career. God
Definitely.
forbid. I'd hate to see people talk about his GA and GX and all that nonsense and stats. He just played football. But one thing that I think many footballing fans forget, he was actually good at football.
So good. And people underrate him. So I'm like, so what? He didn't score loads of goals or assists. If you actually watched him, no. And if you watched him and saw the influence he had, and just the simple things, he did the simple things. He broke up the play, he gave the ball. I remember Roy when he was box to box and he was scoring goals, and he was like, people underrate his passing and stuff. Very good and such. Like, the thing about Keane was he gave an 8 to 9 out of 10 every single week. He wasn't a 5 or a 6. He was an 8 or a 9 nearly every single week. And that's a rare breed in footballers these days.
It's like Rory, big up to Rory. Rory went to the same school as Darren Fletcher. Quick story on Darren Fletcher. When I was training, Darren Fletcher's sister was playing football in the pitch beside me, and we were just training. And literally, I said to the coach, I was like, "Can I go pee?" And he's like, "Right, cool." So I went round this bush, knocked on the first door I saw, and this woman just looked at me, and she's like, "Can I help you?" I was like, "Hi, this is so random, but Darren Fletcher that plays for Manchester United is round the corner. Do you have a pen and paper, please?"
Did you get his autograph?
Oh, I got his autograph. And
result.
I've met him a few times at like football camps and stuff. And to be fair to the guy, like, he did say hello. He's like, "I remember you." anytime I say that story, he just laughs, and I'm like, yeah, because I actually remember I ran up to him with a piece of paper. I was like, "Hi, big Man United fan," and I remember saying, "I know you probably get this all the time, but literally, I love you." And like, can you say this? And he was like, "Yeah, no problem at all." And my coach is like, "Boy, get back!" I'm like, "I'm coming." And
This is more important.
I know, scrunched up and put my sock. I was like, "Have a nice day, Darren." I just ran off. But you know what you're saying about Roy Keane, right? Roy Keane, it's funny. I'm 31 now, right? And Roy Keane is my idol. When I say that, so his principles, his character, so with the way he is, yeah, in my household growing up, right, and I always say this, people don't agree with me, but I always think that the Irish Catholics have similar principles towards the Nigerian Catholics. You know, very family orientated. You look after your own. You know, just the culture and stuff. Yeah, and I was a bad boy on the football pitch. I was a menace, a monster. Like I was always bigger than everyone. I was taller than everyone. And, like I loved the fact that Roy Keane was a bit of a bastard, but a good footballer. You know, at the same time. And when I say a bastard, I mean that as a compliment.
Yeah.
Like wherever you turned, he was there. Do you know what I mean? You couldn't get past him, and I loved that. And I used to always want to wear 16, even though we were like, just like under 16s and that. I'd be like, and you get 1 to 11. I'm like, no, give me 16. I want to wear 16. I was obsessed with him. And I was always captain majority of my clubs and growing up, and like I adore him. He's still my favorite player, and I don't boast about it too much because I fear now that I can't really talk to people about Roy Keane because I look around and the generation now, it's like they just see him as a pundit or a manager. Yeah. And I'm thinking, you guys have no idea what this guy done on a football pitch. And I always say to them, go and watch Roy Keane meets Vieira. Go watch that, you know.
They say he's just a thug. Oh, he was just a thug. I mean, like, yeah. He got sent off, a couple of times, 4 times. I mean, Vieira got sent off more times than him. So, I mean, he was dirty. Like you said, he was a bastard. But I want more bastards in my team. I'd rather Roy Keane than, someone's going to be shirking out of tackles and stuff. Obviously, the game has changed in that, and you're not going to get away with a lot of that. But still, like, even Ananda Herrera, give me that over a nicey.
I loved, and do you know why I loved Ander Herrera? Ander Herrera was that Dennis the Menace, pretty boy, but he'll kick you in the process. I loved, and Roy Keane. Do you know football's obviously changed, right? But Roy Keane will see a good player, see you affecting the game, he'll kick you, and it's not to say like he can't play football. No, he sees you as the person that's dominating his game, and he'll take you out, he'll tackle you. He'll bully you to the fact that you don't want the ball, and
because he's getting in there.
Yeah, we don't see that anymore, man. We don't see. They talk about like Fernandinho and stuff, but I'm like, he even though like they say the dark arts and stuff, but I'm like, you need to have watched Roy Keane, Patrick Vieira, flipping Dennis Wise. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Players like that were real, like open the floodgates on dark arts. But no, like I'm happy you said that because like for me, Roy Keane was my idol, and I loved the fact he wasn't English. And when I say that, I mean the fact that God help him if he was. Seriously, he wouldn't have had the career he had at Man United. I honest to God, think about the games, the scrutiny, that every player came under.
He would have been hounded.
He would have been hounded, and let's not be wrong. He was the Manchester United captain, Mary. He was hounded anyway.
Yeah, he was.
So from Roy Keane, okay, Mary, when did Man United? When were you a Man United fan? When did it hit home that you are a Man United lass, as they say?
I grew up with 4 older brothers. 3 are Leeds. 1 is Liverpool.
What?
But I was. Surprise, a tomboy, like massive tomboy. And when I was really young, wrestling was, I was just obsessed with WWF, WWE.
When it was entertaining. When it
was decent, you know. Obviously, I was like I wasn't even a teenager. I was a kid. So it was like, and my brothers used to be obsessed. We used to stay up and watch WrestleMania till all hours, and great fun. And then I remember going to like my best friend at the time, it was a birthday in her family or something, and her uncle and her granddad are like, her granddad was the biggest Man United fan, and at his age, I remember him talking about the Busby Babes and the Munich air disaster, and they had tapes. Because I don't even think there was games on the telly. It might have been Match of the Day or Grandstand or one of them. And they had VHS tapes and they were playing them, and her uncle Dennis, and they were talking about it. And I was like sitting there fascinated. And because the lads followed football, I didn't want to follow any of their teams. I was like, yeah, I'm going to follow this team. I'm going to follow them. And from that day, I remember just being obsessed. From that day, because I didn't want to follow any of their teams, and I was fascinated by what they were telling me, basically. So, and that was about 30 years ago.
And you know what? Fair play to you. And you're still. I've got to relate to the WWE though, WWF. Who was your favorite wrestler?
I had, I think when I was like tiny, like the lads were obsessed with Hulk Hogan. But for me, my first one, I had two: The Ultimate Warrior and Bret the Hitman Hart were my two. Yeah, and I had three. Macho Man Randy Savage was my other one. Oh yeah, yeah. I was obsessed, and he was married to Elizabeth, and I wanted to be Elizabeth. I was like, I want to be Elizabeth. Like I was about 7.
So when your brothers came down the entrance, down the ramp, were you just when one was matches out? Were you just Elizabeth, just like?
Oh yeah. At the side of the ring, you know, yay! That was who I was thinking I was, yeah. So they were my 3 faves, but I haven't watched that in a...
Yeah, do you know what, Mary? Listen, I watched it. I think I started on Hulk Hogan. I had the Hulk Hogan toy. Not gonna lie to you. Match around the souls. I think mine was Hulk Hogan, Shawn Michaels, Heartbreak Kid. Like literally just. You know, I'll make her cool. You know what I mean? I'll make her.
Those were the days.
I was a cheeky lad, and you know he was quite cheeky when he was younger. Obviously, The Rock, Stone Cold, the usual people, you know. And then as I got older, it was just like, yeah, I'm not watching this anymore. I think I won't say I grew up. I think it was just I wasn't interested in it anymore. I watched it the other day, Mary, of my son, and I was thinking he's 3, and it was on, and he was like, "This one, Daddy," and I was just watching. I was like, what in the hell is going on here? Like, who is this person? Who is that? But I know some of the people on YouTube watch it and they're all fans, so fair play to them.
Yeah, because I did watch the little bit of Don Robbie's with Expressions and Troops.
Yeah.
I was just watching it for the entertainment, not really for the actual wrestling, because they're so funny, but not for the actual. Who I had no idea who they were even talking about, but the 2 lads were hilarious. So. That's what I was watching.
They're a good match, those 2, actually. They know what they're doing. I'll give them that. And I think Expressions is the funniest YouTuber.
Hands
in my
down.
opinion, anyway.
Absolutely. And he is just comedy gold. He's so entertaining. The first person that I go into to find on YouTube is Expressions. He's just so funny.
And do you know, saying that, I know Sabios TV knows him quite well. And I did, when I speak to her quite a lot, and I said to her, I was like, what's he like? And she just said, he's that, just on or off the camera, that's what he's like. And I'm just like, you probably couldn't get serious with him because you're just being laughed at.
Yeah, but there's no way he could put that on all the time and the way his brain works, I mean, how he comes up with the songs, and he's like, yeah, that's like, you know, and you're just like, how the hell? He's brilliant.
I done my homework on him. I said done my homework. I read up on him. You know, he went to uni. You know, when he used to do like the X-Files and stuff, and he'd talk and he'd be like, you know, like I used to do a lot of. He does a lot of reading, and he says that like because he reads stuff, he's very quick to like think of something, say something, and like he'll be rhyming and stuff,
Yeah,
and
he's so.
and he says, you know, no, kudos to him. Big up to him. People in the cut. Well, who was your favourite wrestler? And who was your favourite footballer? If you're a Man United fan, who was your favourite Man United player? So maybe obviously it's great. You're a Man United fan. Okay, you're a Cork class. Okay. I've got to ask though, because you told me something. The choir.
You're giving away my secrets there.
No, I was like, oh wow, amazing. I'm only going to ask you a couple of questions. What was your favourite song to sing? Or what is your favourite song to sing?
On my own or with the choir?
Both, actually, both.
Well, I'm a Whitney Houston all the way. Give me Whitney Houston. Karaoke, Whitney. She's my all-time fave. Grew up on Whitney. Yeah, I love her. So Whitney song, and in the choir we do. No, I love I love them, but a lot of them, it's I don't how do I say this without being offensive?
You can sing it if you want.
They're a lot older than. They're an older choir. Okay. So when I joined, I remember she's now retired, my colleague, I absolutely love her, Mag. We shared an office and she was trying to get me to join. I'm always singing in the office, always singing in work, the radio is on, and she was trying to get me to join, and I was saying, no, wait. We went to watch them and I was thinking, oh, fuck no. There's no way.
Was it like a Sister Act moment? You were like, oh,
no, because I love Sister Act. I love all the gospel, and because we did a competition recently, before COVID, and there was this amazing choir. They were quite gospelly, and I was saying, I'm in the wrong choir, lads. This is my choir. But I remember going to watch them, and I was thinking no. And she was like, please, and I was thinking no. And then I actually got a lot of anxiety. I went through the stage where I had a lot of the palpitations and all the physical symptoms of it too. And I remember Mag saying to me, join the choir, it's brilliant for anxiety. No. So one of the other girls I was working with said, I join with you if you go. So I was like, okay. So we went, but at the time they were singing there were songs I've never even heard of, and then there was a couple of songs, a couple of old, like the Beach Boys. No, they do Bohemian Rhapsody. It's not too bad. That was the most up-to-date song that they were singing. Mm-hmm. So then every year you have the AGM and you get to put songs forward. So I was putting forward Titanium. That's our latest one. Sia and David Guetta, Titanium. Didn't go down well, trust me. A bit of Viva La Vida, Coldplay. A couple of other ones I threw in that we're going to be doing next year, but I had to modernise it because it was a bit... That's
what I'm saying. It's a sister act moment. You came in, you're the new person, you've had to
whoopee.
No, I think it's beautiful. When we were talking. And I was like, no way. And this is why I always say it's good to talk, because once you get to know someone off the camera, it's a completely different vibe. And, I've told you I sang in the choir and stuff. I stopped it after secondary school, because I went to play football. And my voice got deeper, so those high notes weren't really the same as when I was younger. That's the choir to the side. Okay, so grew up in Cork. Okay, still in Cork. You're a Man United fan. Okay, I've got asked about when did you start watching YouTube, and then what made you start a YouTube channel?
I've been watching YouTube for years.
Okay.
I think they full-time Devils. No, Stratford Paddock, and then a lot of the Man United fan channels, and then obviously Arsenal fan TV, especially when I only watch them when they lose. And loads of other, I used to listen to actually podcasts on the podcast app, and then I think YouTube just took over. I think through Geordie and a couple of the bigger YouTubers, and it just I don't even go into that podcast app anymore. I go straight to YouTube if I want to listen to anything true crime that I'm fascinated with. H3 podcast, True Geordie, and anytime the guy, oh God, what's his name? True Geordie interviewed him, and now he has his own crime kind of podcast. Can't think of him. He was in prison for years. The bald guy. He's English. Oh, I do watch James English too. Yeah.
Okay.
I kind of watch him because he's cute, but he has good guests on there too. But yeah. So, and then I've always kind of thought, maybe I could do this. But I never really I was thinking, no, I can't do this realistically.
Why?
No.
Why?
I never had the confidence ever. Like, that was just, and I didn't want to be, I have a really thick skin to a certain extent.
Got you.
And I didn't really want to be judged and get abused, because I'd see Goldbridge getting called. I mean, he horrendous stuff, and I was thinking, no, it's not fucking worth it. No.
It's tough, isn't it?
Very tough, very, very tough. And you don't realize it until, like, you know, the storm happens. But then I remember thinking, there's not really a lot of females. Like, I know there was, you would see the back, like last season, I was thinking there's not really any, certainly the ones I was watching, maybe one on United Stand, one somewhere else. And I was thinking, there's no real all females. And I had a few drinks after we qualified for the Champions League after the Leicester game, and I thought, yeah, I'm doing it. After, like, thinking, having a bit of, like, you know, Dutch courage. And I messaged some of the girls, and they were like, yeah. And the following day I woke, and I was like, no way, there's no way I'm doing this, to myself. And then we had texts sent each other, our mobiles and stuff, and they were texting going, yeah, so when are we doing it? And I was thinking, oh, I can't back out. Oh, no. And I've never done, like, some people have had media training, they've gone to college for it.
Yeah.
I've never done. So they were like, you're going to be the host. And I was thinking, fuck, I don't know how do I even. And I haven't yet watched back our first ever one, because I remember just being really, really nervous. Mm-hmm. But that's how it came about, really, after a few drinks, and we went, yeah, okay.
And what were you called?
We were called Ladies United in Red Chat. But then there was the hairdryer treatment, which is Sophie's channel. Yeah. They had a segment on theirs called, no, we didn't know that. Actually, I tweeted drunk going, give us a name, and someone said Ladies in Red, and I was thinking, that's brilliant. And then we saw the girls had a segment on the hairdryer, so we were like, we can't call ourselves that. So we said Ladies United in Red Chat. And then people were mixing up the two. There wasn't drama or anything like that. Mm-hmm. But we just said we changed the name, put it out, a poll on Twitter, and someone came back with She Devils United, and we said, we'll go with that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So do we have an original crew members of She Devils? Like I say the forefathers, but I'll say the foremothers. Does that make sense?
There was myself, Irish Amy. She was there from the beginning. Beck was there from the beginning. And there was Sarah. Sarah, I think she's changed her name on Twitter now. Sarah MUFC 93, I think, is her Twitter name. We've been following each other for years. Sarah had a lot going on and stuff, so she didn't have time for the channel and stuff, but moved on. But yeah, myself, Beck, and Irish Amy are the three still standing, founding.
So how long has it been now?
It'll be a year on the 20th of July.
Are you serious? 1 year?
Yeah. It feels like longer. Yeah, it feels like longer.
Wow! Congratulations! Wow.
Thanks.
So do you know what, Mary? Like, you're right, because one thing that people don't realize, that in our generation, well, when we were growing up, if you didn't have anything good to say, you didn't speak, because you knew if you said something wrong, you had to go back home and tell your parents what you'd done, and you know, if you were disciplined and respectful, you'd be more scared of what was going to happen at home than you were outside, you know? Because, I mean, I used to say to my friends when I was growing up, I was like, oh, no, but, like, if I get arrested for the police, that's fine, because I know I'll get charged or whatever, and I'll get out. If I go home, I may never see light again.
Never.
And people used to laugh, and I'm like, no, I'm being serious. Like, real talk. So, right, okay, so how has that journey been? the 1 year?
It's been a roller coaster. Like, it has been amazing. Loads of Chelsea just scored again, by the way, 2-0, 84th minute.
Oh my goodness.
They're going through all English final, but it's been amazing, and it's been really, really hard. There's been times where I wanted to quit. I just did, multiple times, and it's really hard. Like, I used to always think, sure, they're just sitting down. Sure, this is easy. There's a lot of work goes in to running a YouTube channel. A lot of work, especially if you're posting like almost every day. It's a lot of work.
It's tough.
Very tough. It's probably less tough if you don't have a full-time job and you don't have, a million other things going on, because you're trying to fit everything in. But it's been a roller coaster. It's been brilliant in one way. It's been really hard in another way. There's been a lot of shit like that. Some of it deserved, some of it undeserved. Very eye-opening as well, I think, for the abuse and the acceptance of abuse and the excuses for abuse. Like, people, I've had people, dead serious, lovely people that I've known for a long time, say, well, like, you put yourself out there, so I mean, basically tough shit.
Which is sad sad attitude, that, because big up to the football capital. He does my thumbnails, he does the template. Wow. Literally a good guy. He's my new best friend. He lives in Sydney. He's watching all the way from Australia. Yeah.
My God.
So, funny thing, Mary, we've both set the clocks. He set the clock for Edinburgh. I set the clock for Sydney. So we try and time it when we talk. But I'm always busy.
That's very clever.
Yeah, I'm just like, Bobz, go to bed. He's like, oh, it's fine. Don't worry. He's a Man United fan as well. So he's a good guy. Mary, do you know what's funny? I remember when lockdown started, right? And the two female YouTubers that I saw was yourself and Sophie. And I thought to myself, I was like, oh, this is interesting. I was like, because I didn't really watch YouTube too tough. I didn't, because, Mary, I mean, I'm obsessed with football. I had BT, I've got Sky. I only have it so I can watch football. I'd go on YouTube, like you said, to watch AFTV. to literally, if they lost, God forgive me, but it's the truth. I'm not going to lie. And, to see the characters and stuff, and to see people like Troops, DT, Claude, may rest in peace.
Yeah.
And I just think to myself, like, oh, this is beautiful, this is brilliant. And, if I'm studying, so you go on YouTube if you need to check something out, because I couldn't be bothered reading something, I'll just prefer someone talking. But I never really watched YouTube stuff. Then I was just like, I typed in Man United, and it came up so many different things. And I used to watch, I watched Adam, and that's when I saw you. And then I was like, this woman's very passionate. I was like, I can listen to her. Okay. And then I found your She Devils. I was like, okay, cool. So I started watching, and then I noticed something. Besides yourself and the Gold Diggers with Anita, there's not that I know of, and people correct me in the cut, there's not many all-female podcasts, is there?
No. And I know that Kendall Rowan, she'd be on Football Terrace. She's starting to do one, and a couple of the Spurs girls have started to do one, which is amazing, because we're a minority on here, like we are. A lot more, Football Terrace always has females on. A lot of other channels, Adam so they are starting to, but there's not really many all females, no.
Yes, exactly. And I was like, oh, this is interesting. I was saying to myself, I was like, you'd never see this on TV, would you? And I thought to myself, YouTube is actually a massive platform. And you don't realise until you start watching. And then what was for me, I call it character building. After you do a video on YouTube, people leave their comments. I'd read the comments and I'd be like, you're an idiot. Oh, I don't agree with that. Oh, I agree with that. You're an idiot. You're an idiot. You're an idiot. I'm just thinking to myself, I'm like, wow, okay. And then I kept watching you. And also, I love the fact that you guys were all, the four mothers were all Irish. And, I love Ireland. I love the culture. Anytime I'm there, trust me, like, I don't want to leave. Yeah, it's it's just good vibes. And when I speak to an Irish person, I meet them abroad. It's just like, yeah, let's go. They would say an Irishman and a jock, like, let's go. It's brilliant. But for me, Mary, like, what's been, obviously you've been on Ireland's channel, you've met great people. What's been one of the top 3 highs of doing this YouTube and the podcast?
Meeting the girls, you can't get it. I know, we've been through a lot of shit. The girls have taken a lot of shit. Meeting them, because we are like, we really genuinely are like a family. We have a WhatsApp group. We talk every day. We check in on one another. If someone is struggling, we're there for them. Like, and then we call ourselves the wolf pack, because if they're getting abused online, we all sometimes doesn't reflect well on the channel, because we go immediately on the defensive. But because we're protecting one another.
That's what a family does, though, right?
Exactly. Yeah. Whether it's right or wrong, people will, they can decide for themselves. But genuinely meeting the girls, and we are planning on a meetup and going to a game and stuff, hopefully after the lockdown and that.
Belfast, I'll see you there.
Yes. I think the next thing is meeting not just the girls, but like yourself, Adam, Keane, Saeed, like loads of different Man United fans who I would have never really met or spoken to. Yeah, Twitter is fine, but you're limited on Twitter. So I think that as well. And I think just everyone that gets in the live chat and everyone that watches and getting all different opinions, because that's what I set it up. It wasn't just for female fan opinion and giving us a platform. It was to interact with people who enjoy that, because growing up, you're a girl and you like football, and to know that there's people out there that actually want to hear female opinion, it's been unbelievable. So yeah, I think for me those are the 3 definite highs.
Okay. Now, this is Bitz and Bobz meets. This is a safe zone. Unfortunately, you went through a tough. Big up, Rachel. You're a bit late, are you not, Rach? You always say that to me. So obviously there was a period on Twitter you went viral, which I think I didn't realise what viral meant until you actually get into the YouTube. And
me neither.
Disclaimer out there, like, it is, you said it is tough, like, you're literally in front of a screen, camera, whatever, phone, whatever, and you're talking about a sport you're passionate about, and you're also talking about a club you're passionate about. Okay, I'm using the word passionate because, like, that is what we are, aren't we? And I say that now because I come into your generation of sport and football. We don't do the put your phone up when there's a game on or take a picture. We watch the game. Do you know what I'm trying to say to you? So, like, I want to talk about it, and I know you're happy to talk about it, because I'm actually involved in it as well. There was a video, obviously, you went viral, okay, with the Pogba. First of all, I think this is funny and interesting because the culture now, they watch 10, 15 seconds and you're either a hero, a racist, a problem, a legend. I hate to say it, but there's a stereotype. You don't know nothing about football because you're female. You know the rest, how it goes. Were you surprised that got clipped?
I was the one that clipped it. I was the one that clipped it in defense of myself, and then it was used against me. So I was the one that clipped it to say, this is what I actually said in the video, so what you're saying isn't actually true. And then it was used against me. I was massively surprised that it blew up the way. Honest to God, I was so shocked. It was after the Leipzig game, so it was 2 months after. Yes. Which I don't think a lot of people realise. The video, the clip looks awful. Like, let's be honest, it looks like out and in context. It's awful because it's rage. It's full on rage. I think a lot of what was missed was it was rage at Ollie. Not so much Pogba. No, the word, like I was like, you're a virus and you're a thing. But a lot of it was Ollie because he brought him on the pitch. That was missed in the whole thing. And a lot of it was to Raiola as well. Massively regret. Like I meant it at the time because it was in the heat of the moment and I had done other videos.
I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying.
And I had done other videos on Pogba too saying I'm not happy with this and the comments are bad. But like, I mean, look at him. I've done a massive 360 on him as well because what 100%. A great player he is. And I think at end as well, we had just got knocked out of the Champions League. We got dicked, like, basically. So I was fuming, like, so angry, rage-filled. And it got clipped. I mean, you know, but I think it was out of context, and I think how people interpret it. Look, people are free to interpret things how they're interpreted. It didn't look nice. Like, I mean, honest to God, if I could take back what I said, I would. I do regret it. You know, I said things about Harry Maguire and Ollie.
I know. So this is the thing. So if you watch yourself, okay, if you watch yourself, if you do watch Mary and the She Devils, you see that Mary's very passionate, and I think people forget that, like, you actually do love Manchester United. You want the best for Manchester United. That being said, okay, I think, this is my own opinion. I think because you're a white woman, and you said that about Pogba, certain people in the community are going to think, why is she saying that in the context? Now, this is when I say, go and watch the video. The full video, the full show. Or do you actually, I'll say to people, do you watch Mary though? Like, you know, and then obviously, okay, so we went onto Twitter. It's heating up. It's going boom, 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 boom. You're probably at work. Your WhatsApp group's going off, you know. The girls, the wolf pack's out, okay? I'm not going to name the person, okay, but there was a few people attacking you, okay? I got involved. Do you know what, Mary? I'm going to be honest with you. I personally think no matter what you could have said, it didn't matter to people. Do you know? I'm being honest with you. In the nicest of ways, I think you were the target for that day. And it was like, let's get her. Let's target her. Let's get onto this. Have you seen this bottle? Have you seen this blah 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 and stuff? And I think to myself, if you were a black woman and you said that about a black person, would you have got the same heat? Probably not.
I don't
know. I'm. This is my opinion. I'm speaking freely here, and you know we've got to look at the context, and we've got to look at, you know, not every white person that talks bad about black players or black football player is a racist. Because I understand what you said. You know, obviously I've spoke to you and stuff. When that was happening, Mary, right? All jokes aside, what was going through your head? Like, obviously you're saying to yourself, I'm not a fucking racist.
Yeah.
Okay? But like, you know, internet, social media is it's a lonely place. It can be a very lonely place, okay? You're refreshing, and it's like bang, 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 okay? And it's like a Julius Caesar moment, isn't it? All the setups are out to get you, you're being stabbed, blah, blah, blah. At that point of time, your phone's heating up, Twitter's heating up. How did you feel?
First of all, I think I was shocked. I was like, what is the hell is going on? And I was shocked that people were like saying you're a racist. And then a lot of my old tweets and retweets were being so back before you could retweet, you had to write RT. And me speaking out against racist tweets were now being used as me saying racist stuff. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? And then I was starting to get a lot of abuse. So, like, I'm talking thousands. So I literally had to put my page on private because it was just the level of abuse was crazy. And then I think it was just, and like I said, I'm very thick-skinned. I can take a lot. I can even take a lot of a lot of it, you know, but I think when someone tells me something when someone says I'm something that I'm like so not, that I fought against for years and years and years, that literally turns my stomach. Because my mom, I'm telling my mom, and she's like, this never really affect. And then I told her, and she was like, I know why it's upsetting you, because of all, and my sister was saying, of all the people who they're claiming as racist, you are, because if I hear, like, literally, I remember my sister thinking she has a learning difficulty, and she thought the P word for people from Pakistan, that's what people were called. And I was like, don't, you know, giving out to her. Now she's young, she's a lot younger than me, 16 years younger. And she has a learning. So she was like, I genuinely, everyone I know was using that word. So I had to so she was going, of all the people. And I think that's what, that people believed it, because my mom was saying, but you don't know these people. And I said, I know, but that's, people genuinely believe that that's me, that I'm like that in my soul. I said, of all the things that you could accuse me of, I think I'd probably rather be accused of being a murderer than being a racist, because it just, you know. So I think I think it was about 4 days of hell, because that's all you can describe it as. People were going to my Instagram, the She Devils Instagram, and the girls are being dragged into it, which was for me a huge thing as well. It didn't have anything to do with the girls. They were getting loads of hate. They were going to the channel. It was literally in their hundreds, like hundreds and hundreds and hundreds. Death threats, people telling me to go kill myself. I'm going to kill you. Oh, I still have some of the messages in my DMs. And underneath that video, there was a lot. I didn't actually read a lot of the comments, because I read it kind of the first kind of 50, and it was horrific. Yeah. You know, a lot about my looks, my accent.
So they got personal.
Like, I mean, what was the funny thing is they're standing up for someone who they think you're being abusive to, but then by telling you go kill yourself, or I'm going to kill you, or you're this, that, and the other. Isn't it? You know? And a lot of people had no idea. He had just scored against Burnley. He was in amazing form. So a lot of people thought that video, because there was no context to the video when it was put up deliberately. So no one even know. And a lot of people in the comments had no idea what it was. So they were just piling on. It's like the bandwagon, really. But it was, I didn't eat. I didn't sleep. Wow. I had really bad anxiety where I had to contact my GP. It was bad. It was a nightmare. That's the only way I can describe it. Some would say self-inflicted. I don't have any sympathy, because if you put yourself out there and you say those things, you know. But
it's ironic though, isn't it? Because people put up the hashtags "be kind." If you can't be anything, be kind. It's all the shit. You know, racism boycott, that's all the bullshit, let's be honest. Okay, mate, so like I saw the clip, okay, and I was thinking, my first initial thought, I was like, what's she trying to say? Because I was thinking, don't you like Pogba? And then I thought to myself, okay, then obviously I got involved and I asked the question, and all I wanted to say to you was that the reason why I think people jumped on you, black people anyway, or anyone, was because I think the way you said the motherfucker virus, people took that, the tone. And the funny part is that, like, you know, like, Mary, let me give you a little insight. Sorry, I'm in my organization where I work. I'm the first black leader, the Bain Network, okay? Hate the word, but that's what it is just now. And I have this approach, where I always say segregation's taught us nothing, because it just means we split up, you know, whites, Asians, blacks, whatever. And I've got this inclusive attitude where if we change the minds, we change the attitudes. And let's ask the question instead of pointing the finger. So if someone has said something that you're offended by, ask them, what made you say that? And then I think probably the worst thing for me was that I tried to do it on Twitter, which probably at the time was probably the wrong thing. And look, I'm guilty as well. I said lol. I was laughing. because I was like, you're not reading what I was saying. And then, you know what? Unfortunately, we didn't speak. And then, I actually put out, I know you've been told this, but I actually put out a tweet saying, can someone get her to contact me? I spoke to him on the phone. I spoke to some of your wolf pack. And like, I even called Adam. I was just like, yo, can you get this girl there? Because after everything, I actually genuinely just wanted to talk to you about it and just say, look, I think this is why people think that. But the funny thing is that they don't care, Mary. And when you realize they don't care, you shouldn't care, because I think it doesn't matter what you say now, not just you, in general.
Yeah.
I think it doesn't matter what you say in general. If there's a bandwagon that doesn't like it, they will be on to you. You are a hot topic for that period of time, and it's a shame because I've spoke to people about it. I spoke to Bitz, Kojo. What about it? We've talked quite a lot, because we actually were like, maybe it's cool though. So let's see what happens. Let's talk to her. And I was like, yeah, I want to talk to her. And then obviously, we didn't speak, which I was gutted, really gutted. And for the record, when I saw you on Adam's show, my face lit up. I was like, oh my God, she's here. This is so good. Like, we can talk. So I was very happy for that. And I think what I wanted to do, Mary, is say to you, like, do you, where you said that that's cool, you're passionate, I get that. But this is why people felt like that. And I think for you to go out and apologize, see, because you're saying I'm not being racist. Okay, you understand, you regret it, and I get that, it's cool. But I just think on Twitter, it doesn't matter now, Mary. I really do think that, because Lee Gunner the other day, okay, the other day people were saying what he done, he should have, been responsible. But the same people that were tweeting that are the same people that are liking his tweets now. So I'm like, what's going on? Between me and you, I actually try and stay off Twitter now, because it's very unpopular. It's quite poison, and I do regret getting it. I'm not going to lie, I do, 100%. But it's good for marketing, for your shows and stuff like that. So that period was happening, okay? We're in amongst it. You're in hell, okay? What was the point where you were like, I can't do this anymore? Was there like a moment where you thought, I'm not doing YouTube anymore?
Yeah.
Because I know you still carried on recording, because I'm still subscribed to you, so yeah. I was still watching. But it wasn't the time to be like, hi Mary, can you send me a
we had a because we do the previews like a day or two before the game, and we had a Liverpool preview. And like I said, I am strong and stuff. And one thing, I'm very stubborn. So then I don't want to give in. I don't want to give the people what I'm like, no, I'm not giving them because this is what they want. And then if I give up, then they're going to think, yeah, exactly. So what the plan was I was going to go on before the girls, because I didn't want them to come on with me, because I didn't want them involved. And then I was going to explain. And I hate those type of fucking YouTube videos where they do the apology and da-da-da-da. But I had to speak up for myself. Like, that was, and I wanted to explain it one time and be done with it, and that was it. And we were supposed to go live at 9, and I was like, I can't wait, because my anxiety was so bad. I couldn't concentrate. So I think I went live at about 5 or 6. Mm-hmm. I didn't put out on Twitter that I was going live. I didn't advertise it anywhere, because I didn't want the trolls I knew that they would be coming. And I just went live, and it was probably the most nervous I ever was.
Wow.
Yeah. I was terrified, like I was, but I thought, I had said before that I don't think I can, it's not worth it. How is it worth all of this stress, and not because of some stupid thing you say after a game without even thinking, and it's caused all of this 4 days of hell. And then my defiance and my like Irish strength comes out. I think, no, fuck them. I'm not giving in. I'm not giving them what they want. I'm doing it. So I just kept recording. I think after that, what I did for a few weeks was I just went on live with the girls just to ease myself back into it. But yeah, that's what I did.
Now, so you're backfiring now. Now, I've got to ask you about something sensitive. Now, I think this was cropped. I think you were set up. But there's a tweet. Apparently, you tweeted the N-word. I can't remember the actual tweet.
It was the C word.
Was it the C word?
Yeah.
Okay. So, why were you being targeted for that?
It was dragged up during the whole
the 4 days of hell
thing, yeah. And if you actually went into I deleted all my tweets since because I thought you're not going through like 11 years on Twitter of stuff.
Yeah.
And it was during the height of the Evra Suarez situation. Back in what year was it? 2009 or something? 2011. And Liverpool fans excusing, it's because he's from his country. So I said, oh yeah, sarcastic, but obviously sarcasm doesn't come across on Twitter. Oh yeah, so that's like me saying the C word. No, in hindsight, I should have asterisked the C, because in my country, that means we say hi to our friends. Clearly, nobody says that word to say hi to anybody in any way, shape, or form. And so then it was used again, not in context of the whole thread. Yeah.
So do you know what? Okay, right, okay. I commend you for that because it's tough. It's tough. And you know it's tough? It's tough at talking about racism because one, you are a white woman. However, this is funny. And as a black man, I'm gonna say this, right? Racism, the Irish people suffer a lot of racism. They suffer a lot of casual racism. And it's funny, when we talk about racism and stuff. And I'll say in my network, I'll be like, this man's Irish. He probably suffers the same racism I get. Just because he's got white skin doesn't mean he doesn't get racially abused and stuff. And people look at me like, what? I'm like, yeah, it does happen to white people and stuff. And so for my question to you, have you ever been the victim of being racially abused because of your Irish heritage?
It's probably more xenophobic abuse. That time with the video, a lot of the comments underneath were that Irish X, Y, and Z. Yeah, loads. To me, it's different because to be racially abused because the colours, just because you've got more melanin in your skin than somebody else is just absolutely absurd.
I'm not countering it, When I say it like that, I'm not countering it. What I'm saying is just that, like, yes, obviously, look, you could probably water down your accent or whatever. I can't change the colour of my skin. I get that. But what I'm trying to bring awareness to is that, like, it's not tit for tat. I'm not saying
one is worse than the other.
One is worse. No. I'm just saying that, it's still racism that you suffer, and for me,
it's like bigotry because of who you are. Like,
yes,
you can't change the colour of your skin. You can't change where you're born. To me, I'm very proud of where I'm from. I love being Irish. I love that I'm from Cork. It genuinely doesn't bother me. If I had €1 for every time I've had a comment in my live chat saying, what the hell is she saying? I can't understand her. Oh my God, what's this accent? Like, not so much anymore, but it's definitely in the first 6 months or so. Yeah.
Do you know the fact that you said that, Mary? I remember when I joined the Football Terrorist, right? And I was talking and I looked at the comments, naive.
Very.
I was thinking, I remember putting myself on mute and I took my camera off. I was like, what? And I shouted to Sonia, I went, is my accent that bad? And she went, what are you doing? I was like, I'm reading the comments. She just said to me, she's like, who are you? And I was like, okay. And she's like, exactly. She was like, they're watching you. What does it matter?
But the Scottish accent is beautiful.
Like, thank you very much, Mary. I'm just like, do I sound that bad? And then like Beats and Kojo would be like, we know you're Scottish, we can hear it, but it's not strong. And do you know what? I do this sometimes. Like, I have a way of, the telephone voice and how you speak to, clients and stuff. We all get that, but like, this is how I talk. Like, even when I send you voice notes, this is how I talk. I mean, I could put it on strong if I'm from Glasgow. So I am, it's tremendous. My name's Bobby, so it is. I can, it's times and places. Do you know what I mean? But like, I was thinking, wow, is this what this is? I was like, so I started typing back. I was just like, and then I was thinking to myself, I was just like, no. So I was just like getting abused, and I was just like, yeah, suck your mom. I don't care. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, and then I thought to myself, you can't fight everyone. You literally can't. And then I realised that with the thing I'm doing up in Scotland with racism, you literally can't beat up everyone. No one's actually worth the court case. That's what I say to people. They're not worth the court case. Mary, like. Thank you for doing this, by the way. Like, so moving on, segueing on, right? Okay. What's happening with Manchester United right now? Off the pitch, not on the pitch, because we know we're about to go into our European final. I take it Chelsea in the Champions League final, yeah.
An all-English final, and we're not in it.
Scumbag.
This is why we're protesting. Allegedly, according to Graham Souness. It's a sorry state of affairs. I haven't been to Old Trafford since 2004. People don't know this. I stopped going when they bought the club. No, I didn't go all the time. Financially, I didn't. But I remember thinking, no, I can't. I love the club. I want them to win. I'm fanatical, but I buy my shirts off the back of a bloody lorry.
High five.
Yes.
Come on.
Why would anyone pay 90 quid for a Man United shirt? Are you insane? And I've seen people now unsubscribing to MUTV. I'm like, why would anyone subscribe to that propaganda bullshit? Are you absolutely joking me?
David May that with his commentary.
And they're cutting people off when they say boo about the team, and the owners know. But the owners are, look, we know all about them. They should have never been allowed to buy the club. They shouldn't have been. It's a farce. And I think it ignited with all the Super League stuff, but we've hated them since they came in there. I mean, we've been protesting a couple of times, but now I think a lot of probably the fan that didn't really know or didn't really care or wasn't really bothered are now starting to open their eyes and think, oh, wait a second. And it's gathering momentum, finally gathering momentum, because we have to do something. You can't, you just can't be complicit anymore. You can't. And I'm a doer. I'm a talker, but I'm a doer. Like, let's do something. Don't sit back and just accept it. No. If we're going to lose, let's lose by actually trying.
Yeah.
And I'm all for the protests. All. And people were giving out. I know, obviously, we don't want anyone hurt, and you don't want to see.
Of course, I think that goes without being said, though, doesn't it? Come on.
But I mean, come on, like it's a protest. What do they think is going to happen? What do they think is going to happen?
Mary, I ask you this, okay? I said this on Adam's channel, and I said it with Bocce, the football cup. I said, I think this generation don't realise that nothing has been decided in the world with peace. Martin Luther King, I can go by Martin Luther King, they said, he was a peaceful man. Yeah, but they still killed him. Britain colonised a lot of countries by not peaceful talks. Unfortunately, Nelson Mandela said it. I think what's the word? I think the line I'm thinking about, like, sometimes with peace, no change will be made unless there's action or woeful action or something like that. Then something will happen. Now, if I get a bit angry, you might think, "Oh God, I have to listen to this person," And unfortunately, if a few things get smashed up, when you're paying the bill to repair it, you're going to think, they meant business. Now, I'm not condoning the violence. I've shouted to the officer that got the cut under his eye. That's stupid. Who people want to attack people? No, go protest, do what you need to do, and leave accordingly. But unfortunately, Mary, bank holiday, we saw people with the bottles of beers. It happens.
Yeah,
it happens in anything. Do you know? For me though, Mary, quick side note is that people were tweeting, "We have the right to protest. This is our club. We'll do what we want. Everyone come out in numbers." But a year ago, when it was the Black Lives Matter protest, we were selfish. We were gonna create another wave of corona. We were football and politics shouldn't be mixing in. And I'm thinking to myself, this is human rights, though. Like,
I'm sorry, there's people dying, like literally dying.
And I'm like, we don't even want revenge. We just want to be treated equally. But you're telling us we can't peacefully protest. And I think to myself, okay, fast forward a year later, few football clubs decide to leave the league. My goodness, Boris gets involved. We will change the legislations. UEFA and FIFA reply within 24 hours. I'm thinking, what? Like, is it? And then obviously, listen, me and you are not long in the tooth, as they say. We know racism will never be dealt with. It will never be eradicated because unless it affects someone's financial pockets, it doesn't really matter, you know. And that's sad.
You've seen it. They don't. There's players literally walking off the pitch because, and I've been caught. I say do this every single time a player is racially abused. It needs to happen more and more and more, because if you don't do something drastic, nothing is going to like. Yeah, you can have a banner, kick it out. Yeah, you can kneel, which is in itself is a bit powerful, but it's probably lost a little bit of its impact and stuff. Yeah, but sometimes you have to walk up. You have to call out Demba Ba, calling him out in his face, because nothing's ever going to happen if you're grand. Banners there. You have to take sometimes desperate people do desperate things.
I want them to walk off. Like, literally, not even walk off, just don't play.
Yeah.
Just don't play. The black players, any player with any visible ethnicity, don't play. And see what happens. And the response will be, we're not playing because of the racism, the way racism is taught. And then what are they going to turn around and say to you? You're going to fine us. Good luck. Do you know, and we need, Raheem Sterling started, Zaha doesn't kneel down and stuff. And that bugged me a little bit, Mary. I know we're going a bit off topic here, but
that's okay.
I thought to myself, your teammates must have known you weren't going to kneel down. So why are they not backing you? And then I think to myself, financial commitments or, fines or something. And I just think, wow, to stand up for human rights, people are more worried about penalties, financial penalties and stuff. And I just said to myself, I remember saying to Kojo and Beats, I said, do you know what, guys? Love your circle, check in on your people, try and fight the good fight, try and make a change wherever you are. But football, God help us all. But back to Man United, okay? The Glazers, do you think they'll sell, Mary? Honest opinion, honest to God. No. Don't speak with your heart, speak with your head.
No, I don't think they will. They have no shame. These people have no shame. They don't care. I think unless there is a mass boycott, not just of the sponsors, but of merch and going to games, which is never going to happen. They're never going to leave, sadly. I thought when Malcolm Glazer died that they would sell, that the kids would sell. But these, I've heard even reports saying that from people that know him and insiders in finance and business and stuff, said they're shameless. They've torn down, not really, but like metaphorically, cities and destroyed people in all those cities in America. They're hated there and they don't care. So, and that's their whole, that's all they care about. And I remember someone in my comments in one of my videos was saying, because they were saying, would you rather have had Martin Edwards or the Glazers? And I was saying Martin Edwards, and then they were saying kind of some of the suspect things he did. Mm-hmm. And I was saying, but all of them are, I don't want to tar them all with the one brush, but You're not going to become a multi-millionaire or a billionaire without being a nice person. You're really not.
This is what me and Botche from Football Capital was saying. Come on. I'm sure people sold their... I think this family sold their morals a long, long time ago.
Yep.
The money will dry their eyes. They're convertible cars. I mean, I saw the car that... I don't even know which is which, but that Glazer guy, I was just like, you're getting in your car, you're driving away, you know, and like, you don't care. They don't...
Nope.
And that's the side that I want people to see. I want people to... I get we're all passionate. I get it. We have the right to be angry. We also need to step back and then look at it from their point of view. Why would they sell? And this is the question.
Yeah.
Do you know, like, you know, we've probably worked for... I'm sure people work for people that they don't like the owner of the business, but they still work there. Do you know, like, I think to myself, if I was them and I'm making money, I'm making money regardless. I'm not winning any trophy, and I'm still making...
Don't care.
Yeah, they don't care, and it's shameless with it. Like you said, it's like... And I've got to think, a protest? They're probably going to be laughing, and this is not to rub salt in the wounds of all the protesters, because no, I salute them all for doing this. I'm just a very skeptic and observant person. I just think this is brilliant what we're doing, but then I've got to think they don't care. They don't even live in the country I'm led to believe. So it doesn't affect them, you know. And the funny thing about it is that you know, where it's all Glazers out and stuff. I was reading something and I asked one of the tech guys at work, and they were saying, like, the click and the hashtags of Glazers out raises their awareness of who they are. It's so bad, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like, we're trying to do a message, but it raises their clicks and all that stuff in it. I know the stocks, I think the stocks went out, and I was just like, they're not leaving. And it's a sad reality that they're not leaving. And then I do think to myself, who's got 2 billion to come and just...
You know, you think, sure, just buy the club, but I mean, it's valued at 2 million, but they want like 4. So I mean,
yeah. I think. Do you know what, like, and obviously because they want to make profit, obviously. But then you want them out, and I just think I look at all corners and I think, who's got this money to come in now and be like, right, you know, because then when this new person or group, whoever come in, we're so fickle that we're like, right, investment into the team, but you just spent 4 billion.
yeah.
Do you know,
unless they're like
Bezos or
yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? So I mean, it's a sad reality, and I do think they're here to stay for a bit longer. And you know what? If we win the Europa League, they're thinking, well, you know, we're in the Champions League again. We're back, like more Champions League. Oh, it annoys me when I think about it.
But what we can do is make it as uncomfortable for them as possible. So at least we can do...
Don't buy the season ticket.
Yeah.
Don't buy any merchandise. If you go to Turkey, you get the strips from there. Trust me.
China.
China. Trust me. If you can
They're
get
brilliant,
yeah, 100%. Get the replicas, because don't give them any money, you know. And, you know, this is the part where I think we'll now see what happens. When the new kit comes out, I'll be so interested to see how much they sell.
Yeah.
You know, I'm interested to see who starts putting the pictures up in this social media world about the new strips and stuff. So we'll see. I mean, we'll see what happens. Last thing on Man United before I conclude. We've got one foot in the final. Okay. I've already talked to you about meeting you in Belfast for the Super Cup.
I've never been.
Well, there you go. There you go. Another reason. A great reason to go. On that, actually, Mary, I've actually messaged. I spoke to Greg, Amy about it, and they said they're down for it.
Yes.
But Mary,
yes.
I just realised you are where they live is so far away from each other.
Yeah.
Right. Before we finish on the next thing, this had my mind boggling. Now, for me to get to Belfast or Dublin's like an hour, if that, 50 minutes, okay? And Belfast is like 45 minutes to fly. So I said to Amy and Keane, I said, so how long does it take you to get to Belfast? 15, 20 minutes or something? And they were like, no. Amy told me it takes about 4.5 hours where she lives.
Oh, it
She was
takes,
like 6 hours to Belfast.
yeah, it would take from Cork probably about 8 hours if you were driving. Yeah. And I don't think I'm not quite sure if there's a direct like train or bus. I don't know. Sometimes, because I know my uncle's girlfriend, she's from Donegal and they've since moved, but back when they were commuting up and down, she used to have to go to Dublin to then get to Donegal, which is up in the north. So yeah, it's crazy.
Wow. I was just like, me and Greg were like, what? I was just like, and then they told me 4.5 hours. I was like, I could drive to Manchester in that. And she was like, well, it takes me about an hour and a bit to get to Manchester. I was like, what? So yeah. So like, yeah. Listen, if we get there, it's going to be a lot of planning. But I mean, I'm literally, as soon as we lift that trophy, I'm booking it down there because God knows the prices will go up, and it's going to be like a 2-3 night stay. I don't care if I don't get to the game. I'm just going to be in a pub watching it. I won't wear a Man United top just in case. But yeah, 100%. Okay, so 1 foot in the 1 foot of the final. Okay. Obviously we're not going to get beat 4-0. Okay, so I'm not even going to talk about that. What do you want to see in this game though tomorrow?
I would love. It's not going to happen, but I would love to see some of the kids. Ahmad, Shora Terry, even Brandon Williams, Twanzebe, give some of the players. So Donny, I mean, we're crying out for these players to get a game. We're 6-2 up. Like, give them a chat. I want to see the kid. Like, this is what Man United for me is about. Seeing the youth team players and the Carling Cup and whatever. You want to see them get a run out. Alanga, Hannibal, give them a chance. We're 6-2 up. Obviously, not play the whole under-23s, but definitely, I would love. If it was me, I would have said. I said at the start of the Europa, I would have played the under-23s in this competition anyway. But I would love to see, and I want to see Mason up front as a number 9 because I think he is going to be our future number 9. That's 100%. What I would love to see. We're not going to see any of that. We're going to see the same usuals, but yeah, I would love to see some of the kids.
I'm with you on that. I'd love to see Diallo. Do you know what? I'd love to see this team. I'd love to see De Gea will play, obviously. I'd love to see. I think he'll probably play the same back 4. Wan-Bissaka, Lindelof, Harry, Shaw. I think Harry's suspended. I don't know. I need to double check that. I'd love to see Donny van de Beek play. Bruno on the bench. I just give him 90 minutes, just so he could be like, yeah, I played the semi-final, I've got there. And then I'd love to see, what's his name? Diallo wide right. I just think, he in my mind, I think this is a perfect game. We're 4-0 clear, 4 goals clear. Let him go and just express himself. Let him go on fun. Handball, it'll be good to see. You see little clips on YouTube and you're thinking, wow, this is brilliant. And also, this is a weird one. I want to see Daniel James play, but just because, right? They're going to attack. There's going to be space. Okay, he might not be. He's not the best football player we have. 100%. It's factual. I feel like he's won the lotto when he signed for Man United. But he's good at a few things. Okay, yes. And I just think, from playing football myself, like the boost it would give him playing a semi-final of a European competition, knowing your full goal goes up, like it will just make him feel 10 foot tall. It's just on a personal thing, and obviously Greenwood up top, and have Pogba, Bruno, Cavani, just in case of things shit jumps off. We can bring these players and just be like, hey, relax. We're here, because that's what Fergie used to do. Fergie used to play that way clear. Can we win it? I know you're going to say yes, but elaborate. Can we?
It depends what Man United turn up. If it's Butler's FC, no. But if it's the team we saw against Man City, against Milan in that away game, in the 6-2 in the second half, we'll blow either team away. We will, because
Yeah.
on our day we were brilliant. It's just the inconsistency, and I do believe it is the mentality. This is the first step, because obviously Ollie has never gotten over a semi-final, and some of the players haven't either. They've bottled it, like Maguire, and they massive bottlers. But I would be nervous, and I really would be nervous. I would. I'd rather play Villarreal than Arsenal, because I do think Arteta has a little bit of, he tactically outdoes Ollie, but
yeah.
I would be confident, but I would depend on United.
I love that, because I know you're being very honest, and it's tough to even get the words out there. It's funny, isn't it? Like, Mary, like, we've supported Man United for easily 30 plus years, right? And I think this is probably one of the first times with this generation. Well, there's Bocce. Bocce says it would take me 26 hours, 35 minutes, 2 stopovers, but see you there. I think it's the first time where, like, do you know when we were dominating football, okay, and we were competent and competitive, you wouldn't think twice about Roma.
No.
You know, like, you wouldn't. You'd be like, yeah, we're gonna beat them. It was already like, yeah, we'll beat them. Or that'll be a tough game, but we'll beat them. And now it's just like you said, which one turns up? And the second half was a completely contrast. And I think if we score first, I think the game's dead. Literally, it's dead. You know, they'll just probably be dirty or whatever. I just hope and pray we don't get any bookings that can ruin people's, you know, suspensions or something. But I'm sure they reset a semi-final. And for me, I think we beat. I'm like you. If we play the way we played in the second half, we go to town on anyone. Literally, I don't want Arsenal in the final, because the rivalry's not there. But for when I grew up, they were the rivals.
Oh yeah.
I don't care what anyone says, that they were the rivals. You know, I speak to Gunnar, you know, and I say to him, like, yo, I don't like Arsenal. And that's a compliment. You know. So yeah. But Mary, look, thank you so much for tuning the fat with me tonight on Bitz.
I loved it.
Like, I think a breath of fresh air, not talking about football too tough for you, you know. And I'm glad that you're able to put the social media demons to bed, you know, 100%, because what I would say to people, all this hashtagging, say no to racism, be kind, it's all the bullshit, because I see the same accounts be horrible to people. So I'm just like, do you know what it is what it is? It's an app. The same way you log in, you can log out. Do you know what I'm trying to say to you?
Yeah.
Mary, I always do this with everyone. Is there anything you'd like to ask me before we wrap up?
Yes.
Oh my goodness. Here we go. Go.
Let me think. I didn't expect this now. Didn't expect this question.
Matthew, thanks for watching. I hope you've smashed a like, and obviously, hopefully, you subscribed.
Shout out to Maddie. I was talking to him today. Let me think of a question.
Put it on the spot now.
Yes. What did you want to be when you grew up?
Oh wow. Realistically.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted my mom and dad to be proud of me.
Oh, that's so sweet.
And unfortunately, I still don't have that. I wanted my mom and dad to, be proud of me and talk about how they talked about my siblings. But unfortunately, the choices I made wasn't within what they wanted. I was supposed to be a lawyer or a doctor, and I wanted to play football. So I was the not so talked about child, but unfortunately I was the most successful one. So yeah, that's what I wanted to be. That's what I wanted to be. Good question.
Oh no, I made you cry. I'm so
That's
sorry.
okay. It's okay. No, I mean, I'm like I said to you, I speak freely, bits and balls meets. As well, I'm very passionate about having a conversation and being honest and stuff, you know. But yeah, that's what I always wanted because you know growing up in a Nigerian household is tough because you know um, you you have to be a doctor, a footballer, not a footballer, that's a big pun, a lawyer, study mechanical engineering, chemical engineering. You know, like your profession's already picked for you. There's only so many things you can do, and there's a horrible culture where you are compared to other people's kids. It would be like they're doing this, why can't you do that? If you got a B, it would be like why can't you get an A? If you always had to be better. It was never well done. You know,
I
well
had
done.
that.
You've done your
I
best.
had that. Why
Yeah.
did you get
So
98? Why didn't? Where's the other 2%?
yeah, exactly. And it was just like it was tough, you know, and it was like yeah, and you know, I've learned a lot. I learned a lot without them, to be honest. None of them are in my life. Not been in my life for a long time. So yeah, I mean, I grew to accept that actually I'm actually not bad. You know, I played football. You know, I moved to different cities to play football. It was my profession. I actually was getting paid to play football.
Wow.
I got a job with the Edinburgh Council. I've worked my way up. They paid for all my education. They're paying for my university now. You know, and I'm thinking, yeah, I'm not bad. You know, I have a nice car. I've got a nice house. I'm doing DIY in the garden. For me, I'm just like, I don't need. I don't. I grew up when I think it was when I was 15, and I moved out because I was going full time. And I thought to myself, I realized that I was never going to get the well done. So what does it matter? Just do what makes
Yeah.
you happy, and that's what I've always chose to do. Do what makes me happy. You know, I get the odd text message from my father. Hi, it's the same copy and paste message. Hi son, how are you? How are you and the family? I get it once every few months. You know, not seen him in years actually.
I haven't
Um,
seen mine since I was 19.
well, I will. And look at us now. We're doing not bad, right?
You know?
So yeah. So that's what. Yeah, I never expected that question.
And I'm going to say you should definitely be proud of yourself. I
Thank
think
you.
that you're an amazing person.
Thank you.
You really, really are. And you're actually one of the nicest people. Like I can't believe there's genuinely nice people, not just on YouTube, but you know what I mean. And you really are. You
Do
should
you know
be
what,
so
Mary?
proud of yourself.
Do you know what it is, Mary? Right? Is pressure is real, and I say this to people. You don't know what it's like to when you're 9 years old and you're walking your siblings to school, and you've got to drop your little brother at nursery, but you're 9 years old. You're cooking, you're having to make sure they get to bed, bath them and stuff. And there's a lot of things that growing up I shouldn't have been doing.
Mm.
Like, I didn't have a childhood. I've only got like 5 kids pictures, literally. So the only thing I can remember of my childhood are my cousins. And it's funny, like I went from that to being the only black person in my class, football team, basketball team, head boy, captain, play football, to being this story where, when they say, "Oh, I'm going to go into this job and I'm going to work my way up," I literally have done that, and I'm sitting talking to through laptops on Microsoft Teams and Zoom to like the Labour Party, the SNP, Scottish Government, and I've got heads of departments, executives coming to me for advice. And I'm now a diversity ambassador for a sports club. I am, and it's like, yeah, Bobby, actually, do you know what? It doesn't matter if you're going to get ordered, as long as you know you're doing the right thing.
Yeah.
And my son, greatest ever achievement. You know, he's playing football now. He's 3 years old. He's my best friend. You know, I'm doing stuff with him that I've never done before with my dad. I never went to the park. You know, and yeah, I mean, I'm just trying to do what makes me happy. You know, and with this, you know, like Mary, you notice like on this podcast, we don't really talk too much about football because I am a football fan. I'm a football fanatic. However, but like I enjoy talking about other stuff as well. You know, about the person individual. Tell me where you're from. Tell me what you eat, what you do, and this is my real passion. You know, and what people don't realize, Mary, is that like people can see this and see, oh, he's a nice guy, but like people don't know what happens when, like, I talk to you, I talk to Bitz, I talk to people, and they're like, oh no, actually, I am the same way I am, and I think that's why I'm very lucky, I'm very fortunate, because like I just try and be myself and try and do things with my own personality. But yeah, we need to do this again, seriously.
Definitely.
And, I want to learn more, and listen, I hope this time tomorrow, we're talking about watch-alongs for the final and stuff like that. Yeah, I know. Mary, obviously, I've got household rules, so for the people that are watching and people that will watch this back, if you tell them where they can find you and where they can subscribe to you, please.
She Devils United. Don't worry about my Twitter because I'd be not really on there as much as usual because of the shite. But She Devils United and at She Devils United on Twitter as well.
Amen to that. And obviously, yeah, so what? I have been your host, Bitz and Bobz. Peace and love to everyone. Glory, Man United. Listen, lads, just win. That's all we need. Just win. Just don't lose. That's it. Don't lose. I don't care if we draw. Thank you to everyone that's been watching with us. Please make sure you go and subscribe to Mary and the girls. If you are new tonight, please smash a like and please subscribe. Peace and love to you all.